shoulder. It's pissing me off.
One! One! He won! Yeah.
Andy Lopez! Andy Lopez, yeah! Andy Lopez, yeah! Andy Lopez!
You're protecting murder! What are you protecting? You're protecting murder! You're protecting murder! You're protecting child murder! You're protecting a girl! That is what you're protecting! That is what you are protecting! A murder of a child! You're protecting the people of a murder of a child! You are not protecting anything else!
Remember that!
Remember Kevin, you're a kid. One of your guys' sons. What if they're dead? You guys wouldn't do nothing about it. How would you feel if it would have been your kid?
No justice! No peace! 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 No justice! No peace!
Anything is good.
We're gonna have a rally. We're gonna have a rally right here. First of all, I'd like to thank Andy's youth. The young people, Andy's youth, have been an inspiration to all of us who believe in fighting for justice for Andy. Let me hear it for Andy's youth. If there's people here who would like to work with Andy's youth, or who have other young people who would like to work with Andy's youth, we want you to make sure that you come up here and let them know you'd like to be part of their group. Now, I'm not Andy's youth, so I'm going to be brief. You might have thought I was, but not really. All right. I want everybody to know that Andy's youth and the Justice Coalition have declared this day one on a spring justice offensive. We will be out in the streets. We will be in the schools. We will be in the city council meetings. We will be in their face. We will not rest until Deputy Gelhaus is indicted for the shooting of 13-year-old Andy Lopez. Now, I'm just going to say one last thing. I'd like you all to look at the website as much as you can. The website's going to have day-by-day updates on what we're doing. But I want everybody to know the big culmination will be on Andy's 14th birthday. Andy would have been 14 years old this June 2nd. I had breakfast yesterday with Lisbeth and Karina, two of the main organizers in Andy's youth. I asked them, tell me about Andy. I don't know about Andy. They said, we're here because Andy was a great kid. They're going to tell you about him right now. But on May 31st, from all over the state, people will be converging on Santa Rosa for a mass statewide mobilization.
Justice for Andy!
Then the police. That's right. The people united will never be divided.
That's right.
The people
United will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. And the cover-up.
Thank you. you very much for all of you who have been here in attendance. We thank you for your support, and we especially thank your presence. At this point in time, we have various members of Andy's youth who have a message to deliver.
Thank you, police.
In 2000, the California Advisory Committee to the U.S. Commission of Civil Rights, after hearing, I'm not good at it. Yeah.
Tell them what you've been doing. Tell them what you've been doing. How you know him?
I know Andy. I went to Bellevue Elementary School with him. I know him since kindergarten. I grew up with Andy. We went to school together. Andy was a real good kid. He loved to dance. Andy was a good kid. He wasn't a gang member like the cops say or anybody else says. He was a real good kid. He loved to dance. He was a smart kid. He loved to do fun things. He loved boxing. He loved skateboarding. He also wanted to go to Marines.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Why don't we all step a little closer so we can all hear a little better? That's annoying, ain't it? Sorry about that. Annoying.
You're doing good. You're doing good, Elizabeth. Just keep going. You're fine. Just look, this is the volume. Just make sure you don't...
Thank you for coming out to support Andy and his family. This is Andy's youth behind me. All these kids. They're Andy's friends. They grew up with Andy. They went to school with him. They were raised with him. What else? Tony's out.
Say thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming out here.
Thank you.
We have various members of Andy's youth.
You can let them know first who you are.
My
name's Tony.
My name's Tony, and I've known Andy since kindergarten, and he was my best friend, and he was, whenever something was bad, he'd be carrying, and I'm gonna say like some facts about what happened. The most recent police-related fatal incident was the wanton and senseless shooting of 13-year-old Andy Lopez on October 22nd, 2013, in the predominantly Latino Moreland area. Andy turned toward Deputy Gelhaus to face the direction from which he had heard a shout behind him. A shout that Deputy Gelhaus, which according Andy was walking to a friend's house to return a borrowed toy airsoft gun. Andy turned toward Deputy Gelhaus to face the direction from which he had heard a shout behind him. A shout that Deputy Gelhaus, which according to his own statement, does not even know if he identified himself as a law enforcement officer or not.
Thank you. All these?
If you have something else that you want,
Maybe unless you want to.
if you have something that
I knew Anderson second grade, and we were close friends and everything. And from all those years, I knew that he wasn't like a gang member or anything. He would just like to do sports. He liked to have fun. He was never a gang member. He never like did anything wrong for Gelhaus to shoot him.
It's on you. Whatever you want to say. This is your time. This is your time. This is for you. Sure. Say your name and say something.
My name is Melissa. Thank you.
All right.
The dog is tugging on my monopod.
My name's Daisy. I'm 13, and what they did to Andy isn't right. Those badges they have, that's like not a license to kill. Andy was like really funny, sweet. I miss him so much. Like, that's not right what they did.
You can say anything you want. Anything you want. This is your time. You can say whatever you please.
Say it loud.
You can even give him the middle finger. Whatever you want.
You can tell us your favorite thing to do today. Yes, I'd love to know that.
Yes, you can. You'll be fine.
Say it.
How did you know Andy?
I knew him from school, and like before school started, because he was trying to hit on me.
Oh, so you're the one he was hitting on. That's the best speech yet. Can you please name us one of the reasons why you really miss Andy?
I miss him because like he was a really close friend, and I can like trust him, and now he's gone.
What would you like to happen, to occur, in order to get justice for Andy? What would you like to occur?
I want Erik Gelhaus to rot in jail.
Yeah! Thank you. What's your name, buddy?
Louise,
How did you know Andy?
because I've known him since I was like young. He was my best friend.
He was like your best friend?
Yeah.
Did you go to school with him?
Yeah. I went to cook.
What's your fondest memory of Andy Lopez?
When we went playing with the BB guns.
You used to play with the BB guns with Andy
Yeah.
Lopez? Do you used to play with him?
We used to play BB guns.
How do you feel about what occurred to Andy Lopez?
Sad and mad.
Why are you mad?
Because they like shot him for no reason.
What do you think should happen because of that?
That they should arrest Gelhaus.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Justice for Andy!
Anybody else?
I believe we have an individual representing the Kenneth Harding Foundation who would like to... Oh, I'm very sorry, I have one more. Come on, brother. I'm very sorry, I have one more speaker. Give us a second.
I didn't mean to speak to you there, brother.
What's your name, brother?
My name's Guillermo. Well, I mean, I just wanted to talk to the, say something to the cops, you know? I mean, just do the right thing. I mean, you guys are trying to fight us. I mean, it doesn't make sense. We're just trying to get justice for Andy. Yeah, and, you know what, if you guys did the right thing, maybe you guys would have a little bit of respect. But you guys don't got any. So...
How do you feel about the Ravitch?
About what?
How do you feel about the district attorney not taking on this case and prosecuting Gelhaus?
Well, I don't know. I mean...
You think Erik Gelhaus deserves to be in jail?
Yeah, he deserves to be in jail. So, what he did, can't justify that. Yeah. So, I mean, that's all I gotta say. Well, we're not gonna stop and, just keep coming out here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
I also want to address the cops here. Every one of you guys, it seems like none of the law enforcement in Sonoma County can relate to what if this was your child. But in my case, I can sit here and tell you guys firsthand how bad it hurts to explain to your child that their best friend is gone. So maybe you can relate to that, because you guys cannot pick and choose who your child's best friend is. So when you sit there and look at your children, you look at their best friend, how would you explain to them that their best friend was shot and killed? How would you explain that? What would you want done in that situation? You guys can't seem to not even be able to fathom how it would feel for your child to be gone. So think about it as your child's best friend. The pain your child would go through. And you as a parent, the hurt. No one wants to see their child cry and sad and hurt and in pain. I go through that every day, every night. When my son sits there and looks at pictures and remembers everything that he did with his best friend growing up since elementary. When you guys go in your little meetings, talk to one another. Think about what is right. Speak up. If you guys see something within each other's groups, your partner, somebody doing something wrong, speak up about it. Because you don't know whose life that could change later. You guys have a responsibility to us. We pay you.
That's right.
You guys would not be in your position if it was not for our tax dollars. You guys have a responsibility to do what is right. So do that. If you guys have any information, I'm sure there's some way for you guys to get it out there without basically telling on yourself. Figure it out. There is a way. I am sure one of you guys know something. Maybe not you guys particular, but somebody you may know. You guys look at these children. Look at them as your child's best friend. What would you do? What would you guys seriously do if one of them were gone? How would you explain to your child? How? How do you explain to them that they're not going to be able to see their best friend anymore? Look at these children. Look at them. All of them. They are Andy. Each one of these children. Bring them over there.
Go ahead, take off your sunglasses.
Come over here. I want them to all take a look at you.
Take a look.
Please.
Quit hiding behind the sunglasses.
These are real kids.
These are the individuals who produce mass fear in your hearts. These are the people that produce the kind of fear that makes you feel compelled to have to pump 7 bullets in them.
In 10
this is
seconds.
essentially what you're fearing. This. So as you're sitting there holding a stick and with your badge and your radio and all your backup, take note. This is what you fear. So it is preposterous for you to perform your job when every day as you walk around, this is essentially what is provoking the fear that lies in your heart. That is sad. That is sad. And all of you, as you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, you ought to be ashamed of yourself that minors, 13-year-old kids, is what produce fear in your heart. That's preposterous. Oh, I'm sorry, my man right here is 12. 12 years old. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, fellas.
The bullshit excuse of I feared for my life. You guys are taking up that position. Every day you put on your uniform. That is what you are getting paid for.
He didn't fear for his
life. You are paying for, we are paying you guys for that.
He did not fear
You guys are taking that risk not to sit there and kill our children. These are our children. This is our future. This right here is our future. Every one of these kids. One day, hopefully some of them will be filling your position.
That's right.
And taking you guys off this board.
That's right. How do you explain to them? How does a child make sense of a 13-year-old friend being
I have a couple.
Yeah.
I have a few more comments from a few more members of the crowd. What's your name?
My name is Jose, and I have a plastic gun here, just like Andy did. It doesn't mean you guys have to kill me too.
Yeah, don't shoot.
You didn't want to say that too loud, bro. They're pretty scared right now. Right now, I have Mrs. Ana Salgado, a prominent member of the community who would like to say a few words to you all.
Yeah.
Gracias a todos por acompañarnos y aquí estamos. No conocí a Andy López, lo estoy conociendo a través de ustedes. Soy mamá y estoy apoyando por eso. Todos somos Andy López. Es hora de que hagamos un alto y le digamos a la policía no más abusos, no más niños asesinados por ustedes, no más niños yendo a la cárcel solo porque ustedes creen que ellos son delincuentes. Estamos aquí apoyando a esos jóvenes que se pararon enfrente de ustedes, que son nuestro futuro. Andy dejó muchos líderes, apoyémoslo. Y esos son los líderes de nosotros. Estamos aquí apoyando jóvenes que nos van a llevar a nuestro futuro diferente, donde la policía no va a ser como ahorita se está comportando. Es hora de que aprendan y de que entiendan
que se necesita un cambio radical, ahora, y justicia para Andy López. Gracias a todos por acompañarnos y vamos a estén atentos a lo nuevo que se viene, porque esto no ha terminado, esto se está poniendo fuerte y cada día estamos teniendo más gente apoyando. Justicia por Andy López. ¡Justicia!
I now have a gentleman by the name of Trevor who would like to say a few words regarding this whole movement that we're engaging in against police brutality.
Yes, my name is Trevor and I'm from Oakland, and it's been 4 months since Andy Lopez was killed, and it's been 2 years since Trayvon Martin was killed. And I want to invite the people of Santa Rosa and Andy's youth and all those who are concerned about stopping police murder of our youth to come out to the Fruitvale Plaza on February 26th. That's the day that Trayvon Martin was killed, at 4 p.m., Fruitvale Bart Plaza. And talk to me about getting rides and stuff like that. But we say we are united with you in saying that the youth are not suspects. The youth are not suspects. They're human beings, and the whole damn system is guilty for killing them. Yes. Really.
That's right. Yes.
We have another speaker representing the Justice Coalition for Andy Lopez.
Kid. He was just a kid, a boy, 13.
Hello, everyone.
Imagine that.
Really good to see all of you here joining us today. I'm glad that we could speak to these officers as one of us. I hope you can feel it, officers. We're not your enemy, okay? We're doing nothing for you. There's no reason for you to have weapons. No reason for you to have sticks, to be in defensive posture. Okay? We're all on the same side here. We just want justice.
That's right.
You guys just need to start looking at us as citizens. Thank you.
We have another speaker representing the Justice Coalition for Alan Bluford, straight from Oakland.
Hi, so I'm with the Justice for Alan Bluford Coalition. You guys sent your representatives down to Oakland on Thursday to join in a campaign that we launched down there to demand that State Attorney General Kamala Harris prosecute all the killer cops all over California, including Gelhaus. And so what we tried to do on Thursday was make it clear that she has the power to step over these county DAs that are refusing to do their job and prosecute these killer cops. And so it is a very explicit part of Kamala Harris's responsibility. She's over all the county DAs, over all the county sheriffs, and over all the local police departments, and it's her job to see that justice is equally meted out, and she's not doing it. So we took over the state building on Thursday, and several of us did a civil disobedience, including Forrest, who's over here somewhere, and myself. There he is back there. We were arrested and held at Santa Rita Jail in Dublin for 9 to 16 hours, depending. And they even arrested our legal observer, our lawyer, Ann Wiles, who was just there to make sure that they didn't do some of the things they normally do to all of us. And she was our legal observer, and they went and arrested her as well. So there were 8 of us who were arrested that day. But anyway, we'd like you guys to join with us in our statewide campaign to demand that Kamala Harris prosecute all the killer cops. Thank you.
We have a few more speakers, ladies and gentlemen.
You want to? Yeah, you can sit right there.
Destino de niño.
I'm sure you know how to operate one of these, right? No. You just press the button and you just point it to your face and you call.
Hi there. I'm Geneva. I'm originally from New York City. I've been an activist all my life. I was an organizer in the 60s, and we're part of the 022 coalition in Los Angeles more recently. And I have to say, we have to keep struggling. This struggle is never over. It keeps cropping up. I was first introduced to police brutality in 1961 when a 17-year-old black kid got beaten half to death by 5 cops for saying hello to my roommate who was white. And we got involved then, and I have been involved ever since. And it just keeps happening. The only way to deal with it is to keep organizing, to keep showing up. Each new generation has to take its turn, because the problem is one of good and evil, and we always have to stand against evil and try to win people to the good.
All right.
All right, well, we're here to support getting justice for Andy Lopez. That's my mother who just spoke. I'm Summer Reese. I'm the executive director of the Pacifica Foundation, KBSA Radio. And I think one of the roles, we've got all kinds of media here, is to continue shining a spotlight on government injustice. The police continue to kill children in cities across the country. Racists continue to kill children across the country. This is going on over and over and over again. And it's important to keep pressing until things like this officer's tried for murder. And we've seen it happen. We need to keep pressing to have that happen over and over until there's some accountability and they can recognize the difference between a 12 or 13-year-old child and an actual threat. So, you know, just keep coming every time there's something to come to until something happens to have actual accountability, because they get away with it because people don't fight back hard enough, and there are people keep fighting back, and there are more people every time this happens. And I think we may see a change eventually, but only if we keep coming out every time that we're asked to. Thank you.
At this point in time, I would like to welcome an individual who has been imperative in our quest to achieve justice for Andy Lopez. This gentleman comes directly from the Answer Coalition, and his name is Forrest Schmidt. He has been with us from day one, and we would really love to hear what he's got to say today.
I'm really proud to have been a part of the organizing going on here. We have to really know how unusual and critical this is, what we're doing. Every year, the police kill hundreds of people in the United States. Almost 60 people have been killed in Santa Rosa by the police without anything being done about it. The police are killing people in Oakland, in San Francisco, in Vallejo, in Richmond, in Manteca, in Sacramento, and in Fresno. And most of the time, a family stands alone. If someone that they say was a gang member kills someone else, there's maybe some resources, some counseling. But the family has been left completely without resources on their own. They've been harassed by the police. They've been followed by the police. The family is doing a courageous thing by being here today, and they need our support and our thanks. They've had a horrible thing happen to them, and I don't know how I would be outside right now if someone that I loved had been murdered by the police, but they're here. And I feel that I have to be standing next to them. I don't know where else I could be. And we see that so many people from the community have stood up with nothing to gain, put their safety and their Saturdays and their Mondays and their Wednesdays at the service of this movement. But then there's something else that's happened. The police, the corporate media, and the government have had a different reaction. Their reaction has been to demonize Andy and say, what was he doing? Why would he be outside with a toy gun? And of course he must have altered the toy gun to make it look more like a real gun. And of course he must have pointed it at the police officer rather than just being kind of turning around when someone shouts at him. They blame Andy and they blame his family, and when that's not enough and when we still rally around them, they harass people. They've beaten people up, they've jailed people, they're threatening people with years in prison for standing up. Ramon is facing years in prison because he thought we should be able to be in a city council meeting, and the police thought that we shouldn't. Yeah. Louis is facing years in prison because he had a stapler to help some kids make signs. Someone called the police, said he was brandishing a firearm. This is the kind of thing that's happening. Every demonstration practically brings new charges, and so those who are new and those who don't know have to know that this is life and death, that we have to stick up for each other, that this is a marathon, not a sprint, but we also can't afford to go slow as though it was a marathon. We are going to get Gelhaus fired. We are going to get him charged with murder. We are also going to get fundamental change in how law enforcement works in Santa Rosa. We're going to get fundamental change in the race relations in Santa Rosa, where you can have second-class citizens, people treated like dirt because they're not white. That's right. We're going to get fundamental change where you can have rich people have anything they want in their playground, and then the workers who provide that playground have nothing. That's right. And then we're also going to stand up every time someone's killed in Vallejo, Sacramento, San Francisco. There were people, Louis, Ramon, Jamie, a number of others were in Oakland when we were being arrested. They spoke out for Andy, but they also stuck up for Oscar Grant. They stuck up for Alan Bluford. They stuck up for everyone who's been murdered by the police, and that kind of solidarity is going to see change not only in Santa Rosa, but all over the United States. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was Forrest Smith from the Answer Coalition.
Yay, Forrest!
I have one more gentleman who would like to say a few words today. This gentleman's name is David Douglas, and he represents a BAM.
Hi everyone, my name's David Douglas. I'm a student at UC Berkeley and a national organizer with the Coalition to Defend Affirmative Action, Integration, Immigrant Rights, and Fight for Equality by Any Means Necessary, BAM. We need to keep organizing, keep mobilizing, demanding the jailing of Erik Gelhaus for the murder of Andy Lopez. We need to organize mass action against the segregation and racism in Sonoma County. Millions of undocumented immigrants across the nation are fighting for their citizenship rights. They work in the grape fields, they work in our economy, they contribute to our society. Yet they're treated like second-class citizens, and they're segregated to poor communities like Roseland, like Moreland. So we need to keep fighting, keep uniting together. They're trying to charge activists for peacefully protesting and leading marches. We demand that these bogus charges be dropped.
Yes!
They're targeting and arresting young members of Andy's youth for organizing and continuing to fight for their family member, for their classmate. We were organizing in Cook Middle School where Andy Lopez went to school, and his friends still want to fight for justice for him. Yet the principal called the police on us and said we were reminding the students of Andy's death. No, we must keep fighting. So let's join together, have the public tribunal to keep getting the level of racism out and an end to second-class treatment, and let's keep organizing mass action and uniting together. Thank you.
My name is Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Better, yeah.
So my name is Ramon, and essentially what I would like to say is, first and foremost, thank you guys very much for allowing us the opportunity to come up here and speak to you guys. Second of all, I would also like to thank the Lopez family for allowing us the opportunity to sit here en masse and speak about the heinous execution of their child. Our main purpose today was to provide focus, emphasis, and information in terms of what actually occurred over the heinous execution of Andy Lopez. And so with that in mind, this is merely the beginning of a series of events that we got planned in order for us to continue our quest to achieve and acquire justice for Andy Lopez. Next week, well, ever since Andy Lopez was executed on October 22nd of 2013 on a Tuesday, Andy's youth has decided to promote something called Andy Tuesdays. So in honor of Andy Tuesday, what we have decided to do is we will host a series of marches. And these marches are essentially to provide emphasis on something called a novenario. A novenario is 9 days of prayer in honor of the dead. We're going to extend that to make it 9 weeks, starting from February 25th up until April 22nd. April 22nd will mark the 6 months of Andy's heinous execution. And with that in mind, we hope that you make your presence there, and we formally invite you. And please ask that you come and support us. All of these marches will take place on the west side of Santa Rosa at various neighborhoods, all impoverished, disenfranchised, and essentially disconnected from the city. We will start at the Andy Lopez Memorial in Moreland, and every week proceeding hence, go to a different community, letting them know that everybody in Sonoma County is here in support of acquiring justice for Andy Lopez, and we're here to stop and end the police brutality that we got here in Sonoma County. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would like to thank you all once again for being here with us, and I would like to have you guys all follow us en masse as we go back to our cars, you know, because we don't want a cop to be fearful of somebody lagging behind and end up shooting somebody, you know? Right. So thank you very much for that, and we can all head on now. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you guys again soon.
Oh, there is? Oh, back there? Marching back to you. Okay, we get right back to that. You should make another march out.
Why not? All right. How'd you like it?
Terrorizing the Northern community. Deputies coming over and terrorizing the children in our community. For doing nothing but flying for an Andy Lopez garage sale. The deputies threw them on the ground, held guns to their heads, put them in handcuffs for 3 hours. When their parents came out, they held guns to their parents and said someone's going to get shot for trumped up gun charges. This is what the DA is supporting. This is what the Santa Rosa Police Department is supporting. It's not right. And the whole world is watching. The corruption is exposed. You can't hide it anymore.
There's no faith in the police. All right.
Do the right thing. Because I know some of y'all have families.
That's what you were thinking, like, run out of town, she might try to get a ride with that. My mom has said
You did a good job staying on.